It was raw milk, which my brother has a guy he gets raw milk from. He says it tastes a lot better. I haven't tried it yet, but I have. I'm
not jumping on that one. I'm not jumping on that one.
Reddit had a thing about that. They're like, oh, these people fought for, is it unpasteurized milk?
Yeah.
And now they're getting sick. And it's like, of course.
That's what pasteurization
he seems
is for.
to be liking it. He says it tastes good.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just need to wait to get that one bit of milk that a little cow shit fell into, or something died and fell into. Like the pasteurization, in the end, they're milking filthy animals and putting it in a tank and then putting that in a truck and then just putting it in your bottle.
Man, I don't know the science. He just says it tastes better. We were talking about like childhood stuff earlier. Did you guys ever have a time? I feel like this happened to everyone at least once, where you were like in a public place as a young child and you were like wandering about and you like grabbed what you thought was your mom's hand in a crowd, and then it just wasn't. It was just some other lady. You never did that?
No, I don't hold my hands. That's pretty gay.
Yeah, I was a pretty gay.
You like skip while you swing along holding their hand?
Yes. Yeah, I was a very gay 4-year-old. And I remember I was at like the fucking science center.
Philip.
I was at the science center. And I was like,
sport, Kyle. He just gone through puberty.
I had just finished puberty. My voice was cracking. Yeah, and I was walking around the science center. I don't know how I escaped my parents. I guess I escaped my parents a lot. And I like was just holding this woman's hand for like not a brief amount of time. And I like said, "Mom," and this woman was like, "I'm not your mom." And I look up and it's a black lady I don't know.
Shit, not even close. Not
even close. Well, it was just like a second nature. Like I just was like walking with this, and so like looking back, she was probably like some woman in her like early 30s who was just like, "What the fuck is this little kid holding my hand for?" And it was maybe the first time in my life that like my stomach dropped in fear of like
black people.
Like yeah, it was like
kidnapper. They start beating her to the ground
because like my immediate
turn loose of that white boy.
My immediate thought wasn't like, oh, I've lost my mom. Where she must be around here somewhere. Like my thought was like, you've been left. You'll never see her again, ever. Like, because like in a group that large, it was like, oh my, like I could never find. Like maybe 30 seconds later, my mom found me, but stomach dropped. I was like, they've probably already gone home. They probably forgot about me.
Yes, they probably grabbed a different tailor.
Yeah,
and started over.
My mom's probably somewhere with a little black kid.
Yep.
A little changing places. Yeah, no idea. Everyone leave a comment about what animals you've killed. What about Shaq?
Shaq's got to be killing it, right?
Dude, he's never seen a product you won't advocate
for. He's got those
for.
general... No, come on. You've heard him talk about he only advertises for products that he uses, he says.
No,
it says the internet says upwards of 500 million, which is pretty good. Shoes.
Call the general now.
Call the general. You know, the only person I trust with my $30 million worth of cars is this little cartoon man who gives cut rate insurance to low income people.
I saw an argument between Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal that was pretty funny, and I forget what the details were about. Oh my gosh. They have you Vaseline your anus, like, because what's coming is going to be rough. And I'm like, all right, you know,
friction burns.
It's not gay. Like, I can touch my own anus. It's cool, right?
That's totally straight.
You got to take care of your body. Dude, do not skimp on the Vaseline. That's an important part of this procedure.
A little oopsie.
Who's on the bed behind you, and how old are they?
Son, who I tour with. He is he opens for me, and
oh, cool.
Yeah. He's gonna come over and join us in a second.
Well, I'm going to take all my pedophile jokes and put them right back on the shelf. Let's not go.
Well, he looks to be an adult.
He looks like an adult.
You know, it's my story. I'll tell it the way I want to.
He's 27.
Yeah, he's legal. Don't worry, Woody. Just bring him back.
Definitely
pedophile jokes. We can't do 4 hours here.
And not super hairy either, Woody. I don't know if that's what you're.
It is live.
Actually, I like hair.
He does a gross amount of hair. He likes men. He's gay.
He likes hairy women.
This is what happens.
Hairy woman, Woody?
Yeah.
The problem is when they go ham, when they're taking huge doses of exotic chemicals. If they were just taking a TRT dosage of testosterone, not the women, because poor women. See, that's the real problem. It sucks for women more than men, because a man might get enlarged heart or like die, 15, 20 years early or something like that. But those women are like ruined. Like they've transformed. Their
ovaries just
their voice. Out. They've been masculinized.
Tell me more.
No kids.
Woody's gonna give him a trans man any day now. We always talk about hypothetical single Woody. It's a trans man. It's a
dude. Woody is trans. Lady. He's male to alpha male. Just absolutely. They'll be like, "You're the most convincing one I've ever seen."
He's gonna have a clit bulge. You know what I like in a lady? A receding hairline.
Yeah,
fucking gets me going. That horseshoe.
Wide shoulders, narrow hips.
He is high, baby.
Yeah, vascular arms, broad shoulders. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
I see what we're doing. Okay.
Do you see that little study that's been floating around on social media where it was like they tested, like it was only like 23, 25 guys or something, and all of them had microplastics in their testicles? Big whoop. Like all of them.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know how it impacts us fully yet, but it's just another
hadn't bothered me a bit.
Asbestos or lead poisoning. Or
is it bothering you, Woody? Your balls fine?
I really like my balls. I'm pretty
all good.
Fan.
All good. Yeah. Hanging low, baby. Swing low, sweet chariots. Let's go. The plastic in your balls, please. My balls can handle plastic. Let me know when there's lead in every stronger? Ball. It makes us more durable. Sure. I mean, great things are made of plastic. I like I said, I'm a big fan of the petroleum industry. If there's a little plastic in me, I appreciate that. I don't
Makes
care.
Me last longer.
Microplastics to me are the new fucking like
lead or asbestos or all those other hokum made up nonsense.
No. Okay, like lead and asbestos are a problem. Lead to a lesser extent. I'm not convinced.
Oh, is this like your actual belief?
Yeah.
You don't think it's a problem having microplastics in your
anyone who says not to eat lead just doesn't know how sweet it is.
Yeah. I think a little lead is no big fucking deal, but I think you need to be
clearly.
I really don't think it's a big deal to get a little lead. But like spending your whole especially childhood eating lead fucking paint chips or being exposed to lead contaminated water because of your pipes.
Yeah.
I mean that'll definitely retard you.
Well, what about those generations of kids who grew up eating food almost entirely from packaging made of lead? Have you considered? Or wait, that's plastic, right?
Yeah, that's us. We're fine.
Yeah. You think it's all good? You think you think we're banging on all cylinders?
You know what? The best part about plastic is it's inert.
Cylinders.
It's inert. It doesn't do anything. I saw this fucking floozy on that podcast.
Is not inert. It reacts with all kinds of things, and there's like a million kinds of plastic.
I feel like Taylor's desire to bang on all cylinders is greedy. Right? you can have a misfire now and then. Knock it off.
But there is a way to fix it. Blue Chew. And
castration.
We'll come back to this. Yeah.
Castration.
Fix your microplastic in
Get rid of that testicular plastic. Get that out of your body.
Yeah.
I think there's lots of things cause this. I'm just not worried about any of that. I just don't care. If I get cancer, I get cancer. But what are you gonna do? Live your life?
Cancer before it's a bitch.
Multiple times.
Nothing.
I'm just not.
Dude, you guys can't bully, basal cell carcinoma, and because fucking pancreatic's gonna hear about it, and he's gonna be like, "These guys think I'm a bitch." Knuckle crack.
Pancreatic can suck my dick. It's just gonna be in the tomb with all the other cancers I've beaten.
When you read about me evil Knieveling my bike off a ramp here in Atlanta, you'll know the pancreatic cancer was coming. I'm gonna do something cool.
Yeah, you'd have to do.
No, I really don't care about the microplastics though. They that's the new I don't know, call to arms buzzword. It feels like for the health conscious. I saw some college educated floozy who should be at home with her family on a podcast the other day. She's like, and she was making the argument that birth rates were down because of testicular microplastics. And the guy was like, "You don't think it's birth control? You don't think it's birth control and abortions?" Then you get new Reagan, Donald Trump in there to pump the crack into the neighborhoods, and we lock them all up, and we're all good again. It's cyclical.
That's the cycle of life. Yeah, that's nature.
If Elton John could do that more eloquently, like, it's a circle of life.
The circle of crime.
Circle of crime.
Oh man, Elton John. I think he's my favorite gay. I love Elton John.
All right, he's all right. For now, he is my favorite gay.
Every time I'm playing
Ian McKellen,
Empires, I listen to
Ian McKellen.
Okay, I don't know if Ian beats out Elton John.
Gandalf can't be. Not only is he Gandalf, he's also Magneto, which he's number two.
About. He's second top G.
He was a great Magneto.
Okay, I don't really care about Magneto.
I don't think either of these people can hold a candle to my gay, because my gay has an OnlyFans, Finster.
Is he gay?
Well, it depends. You know, it's
complicated.
It's complicated. I don't know. We'll have to ask Finster next time.
Well, then he has to be in a different category. Because obviously I know him and I like him. And
yeah,
he's my favorite.
I mean, he sucks dick.
Well, wait,
is that gay?
Twitch is cool.
Yes.
Shit.
Well, is that
gay? Sucking dick isn't always gay. I mean, sometimes girls do it.
Oh, is that what he meant when he said girlfriend?
Yeah.
No. Well.
Yeah. Well, that is gay.
His girlfriend does have a penis. And
his girlfriend has a penis, and so does
he.
And I don't know what his pronouns are, because all the ones I used all night long were wrong.
He literally doesn't either.
I don't think he gives a shit.
He literally doesn't know either, and he doesn't really care. And I love that, because he is like a figurehead in the like trans fucking egg femboy whatever the fuck community. Like, he's the poster girl boy online for that.
They're like, Governor Christie, what are we gonna do about the salted meat shortage? And he's like, I don't know, but it's a problem that's affecting us all. And he's saying that all the crabs in the bay are being eaten. That's a problem that America's facing at this time.
What if
Jersey's got a lot of Republican governors, like more than you'd guess for such a blue state. I think Christie, Whitman, and there's others. I'm lost.
He's been using
all fat
campaign funds to buy blue shell crab.
Yeah, we look at Chris Christie's investment portfolios, and it's like, Red Lobster, Little Debbie's. He's got his retirement in Entenmann's because he's fat.
He's a big boy, and he hasn't gotten any skinnier. I thought they were going to lock him up for a while. He had that whole Bridgegate thing, and he seems like a corrupt. He seems pretty corrupt.
If they lock Trump up, I want him to be like, I've been doing this a long time. I've been thinking a long time, and I'm actually a lady. I'm a woman. Put me in there with the ladies. Me and Stormy, we can share a cell. It won't be our first time, folks. And then he can get in. But you could also do, you could make up things that dead comics have said about you, where you could be like, hey, I want you to introduce me, Josh Wolf, as Patrice O'Neal's personal favorite stand-up comedian. He told me that before he passed on his deathbed. he couldn't speak. He had just had a diabetic stroke and he was in a coma, but he blinked it at me.
He Morse code blinked out Josh Wolf.
He blinked it out. Yeah,
I love it.
Like those Vietnamese POWs thinking torture.
R.I.P. to Patrice. His favorite comedian was Josh Wolf.
My favorite comic of all time, Patrice O'Neal.
He's on my list. He was so fucking funny. All the old O&A appearances of him, I re-listen to probably once a year. There's
fantastic. A guy who went out on top.
He was so far ahead of his time. But dude, my favorite. Nobody. I can laugh. I can see his jokes over and over again, same jokes, and laugh every fucking time.
Yeah,
every time.
Even the episode of O&A they did like right after he died, where they had basically every famous comedian, like the really big ones at the time. So like Jim Norton and all his boys, like Louis C.K., basically plug and play any of them in. Like they just laughed about him the whole time, not even like all the deferential stuff. Like Jim would just go into stories like, you know, another thing that fat retard did, we were getting hookers in Brazil and he told me that he'd paid. And then he came out quickly after coming and was like, we got to go right now. And it turns out we robbed a couple prostitutes because Patrice was too cheap to pay for it. And then you have fucking other comedians in there being, it was so funny. So good vibes, that Patrice guy. Damn shame he just ignored that Beatus.
It works. Like, how do they make?
Smart.
So he's got something that's shooting like neutrons or not. He's got something that's shooting like particles, right? Like subatomic particles at something else.
Little depth charges.
You don't know what you're talking about.
It's
I would call it energy.
Yeah, I call them fairy depth charges.
Now it's both a wave and a particle. Doesn't make sense. You're not trusting the science. Why is light a wave and a particle?
Is he
because
colliding?
it doesn't work otherwise.
Is he like shooting one in his left ear and one in the right ear and making them collide like right on the tumor? Because that's what I do.
I forgot how to read. It's like, oh, damn it! You shouldn't let the new guy try.
Hang on, I'll put it back in.
Yeah. What that guy actually needs is like a food taster. If he's getting that close to curing cancer, he's going to end up like that water running car guy who got poisoned in the restaurant.
Ravioli. 4, 5.
I'm not on Ozempic anymore.
Thought YouTube was cool, you know, that FPS Russia generation. Like, man, you mean I could just go shoot stuff in the woods and
shout out Kyle?
Watch it? Yeah, shout out Kyle, our boy. They did him wrong.
I mean, you still see his legacy. He has an awesome legacy. Hasn't made content in years and years, and pretty badass stuff.
And he's still inspired, you know, half of GunTube as we know it.
Introducing liquid anesthesia.